About 7 months ago, I decided to stop paying $28 every single time I went to the movies with my partner, and instead I decided to subscribe to Regal Unlimited, a movie pass-like subscription that lets you see as many movies as you want at Regal theaters. You still have to watch the worst promo in existence for a theater that you're already watching a movie in, but it's only $18.99 per month, so it's worth it, right? Well, a major selling point for Unlimited is that it pays for itself in just 2 visits. I couldn't find the ad they're running that claims this, but if you've been to a Regal theater lately, you've probably seen it. So, from 2 movies a month, it's worth it. But that's 24 movies in a year, which I figure I could do, but I don't always end up seeing 2 movies a month. The question remains, what's the minimum number of movies I can see in a year to make my subscription worth it? Well, a standard Regal ticket, at least at my theater, is $13.60 for adults. This is the group I belong to and thus have to buy a ticket for. So, for my $18.99 subscription price, seeing 2 movies easily pays for it, and would technically make my second movie of the month only cost me $5.39, and every movie I see after that month free. It's a pretty good deal when the alternative is over double that, but it does also mean that if I don't see a movie that month, I'm basically losing that money. Kind of. Because this is where the math goes beyond basic subtraction and gets into the cost of subscriptions. Let me explain. Let's say in January, I pay my subscription fee of $18.99 and end up seeing 2 movies. That subscription price pays for itself and gives me a savings of $8.21 on the second viewing, because I didn't have to buy a ticket and thus saved that extra money, which is good and makes my subscription worth it. To go beyond this, though, it relies on a prospect of remaining balances, and because this math kind of gets annoying to do fast and I want to go through a lot of months, I made a spreadsheet. The first video on this channel is about a D&D actual play show, and then I reviewed a whole bunch of movie trailers. And I think this is the nerdiest video I've made. But seriously, I did make a spreadsheet, and if you see 2 movies a month for an entire year, you end up saving $98.52, which, fun fact, is almost $100. And it also seems to give us some serious wiggle room when it comes to the value of the subscription. Now, I do want to acknowledge that I have the lowest of the 3 pricing tiers available due to the requirements of the theater that I go to. I also should note that even at the other 2 pricing tiers, you still end up saving money when you see just 2 movies a month. But I don't want to know about 2 movies a month. Just like when I was in high school, I want to know what the bare minimum I can do is. So let's find out. Now, the math of this part of the video was easy. I had already made the spreadsheet, and all I need to do is put a bigger number in the spreadsheet until my colors change to red. And the answer was obviously different for each tier, but for basic $18.99 Regal Unlimited, the minimum number of movies per year is 17. It only climbs a little bit at 20 movies per year for Plus and 22 for All Access. It honestly came out a lot lower than I thought for the basic tier and overall seems to be a fairly good deal. But remember, these subscriptions work because the chances of the average person seeing 17 movies a year is probably pretty low, and it can equal out to the one person who sees 35. Just to see how on track I was, I plugged in my own watches for this year so far into the spreadsheet, where I learned that apparently Regal doesn't email me for every ticket I buy, which is incredibly annoying. But I learned that actually I'm doing pretty good. I've seen 7 movies this year, so over the next 8 months, I really only need to see 10 more. That's pretty good, and I'll make it there when I see Spider-Verse 9 times, or 10 times. Thank you, Miles. But what did I learn from this, and what does it mean for you? Well, I learned that if I try hard enough, I can draft an entire script while procrastinating editing a video that I procrastinated writing for 3 years already. But as for what it means for you, it means this deal might not actually be worth it, especially if you're in a city that only has the higher 2 tiers available. For me, it works because I go to movies a lot, sometimes for repeat viewings, but don't buy Regal Unlimited for your family of 4, unless you plan on seeing each kid's movie that comes out 3 times. But if you seriously think it might be worth it, you can go to regal.totallyjackgirl.com. That's right, the video got even nerdier because I made the spreadsheet into a website. You just have to plug in the number of movies you've seen, your unlimited cost, and the cost of tickets, and it'll tell you how much you've saved or lost so far. So if you're on the fence about it, you can see if it's worth it by plugging in the number of movies coming out this year that you really want to see in theaters. Overall, though, the moral of this video is, why are tickets almost $14 a person? Anyway, this was just a fun video for me to make so I could see, 1, if it was worth me subscribing to Unlimited, and 2, so that I didn't have to finish editing the Breath of the Wild video that you guys have already seen. Hopefully. And if you haven't, it's probably linked on the end card. It's pretty neat, but be warned, just like this video, I talk fast at some points. I'm working on it. Anyway, next video will come out eventually. I don't have a schedule, and don't let any sort of pattern recognition tell you otherwise. Thanks for watching.